What's up, everyone? Today we got RockNRolla playing against Ozone. It's a user-submitted game. Around 1700 elo. Let's get into it. Looks like Arabia. Scouting well with 2 sheep. You can see he's got side wood here. It's a little far away. Berries towards the front. Wood camp in the back there. Both of them are pretty far away, so reasonable decision there. And forward gold. Sometimes when you make your first lumber camp, you haven't scouted the front yet, so it's hard to say. But I would, in a map like this, I'd even be okay with front lumber camps. You know, right by the gold here, because you're gonna have to defend berries and gold and stone anyway. Maybe not stone, but the other two. Good scouting so far. Grabbing his boar there. It looks like 4 on lumber. Probably gonna go build some houses. That villager. Yeah. Looking like in a good spot. Walling the front. Found the 2 deer here. 2 more missing there. Spotted those. Good stuff. It's looking to me like maybe a men-at-arms build, archer build. Drush maybe. Ooh. I notice everyone's using the TC now to kill boars. It is slightly quicker, but it's definitely slightly more dangerous too. Easy to shoot the boar. You know, obviously it worked out fine that time, and it probably does. 19 times out of 20. But one more hit on that vill, or one more shot on that boar, and you can't really garrison the vill because then it shoots one more arrow and might kill the boar. So looks like a men-at-arm build here, I guess. Probably. And looking like it's pretty clean too. I mean, you obviously would like to scout your opponent a touch earlier, and you see the stones, so you know where he is. It looks like he's not doing a fast rush or anything, so it's not a big deal. Okay, 3 militia. Put some extra ones on wood there, makes sense. Still house walling out the front. Yeah, this is a really clean build, I would say. You lured 1 deer. Opponent's going to stable. Now, the second he hits feudal age, usually you want to retreat with your scout, just in case his scout's nearby. In this case, you don't know what your opponent's doing yet, and you're going men-at-arms right away. Okay. Probably going to build an archery range, yeah. Yeah, it looks like a pretty normal build here. But never go for the villagers that are building... Well, I shouldn't say never, but... that TC is close. It's very easy to take fire and get greedy, and... You're going to go for it anyway. Okay. I mean, stop the men-at-arms upgrade. Okay, too late. You only got 2 left. And this is where a lot of players disagree, even at the top level. Getting 1 vill for 1 men-at-arm here, it's probably not terrible. But you spent an extra 100 food, 40 gold to upgrade them, and now you have 2 which are less dangerous. I mean, it looks like you might get a second one here. So if you're in this spot, you want to block with your scout. Okay, you're doing that. Very clean. Okay. And your opponent's trying to wall in. Yeah, I was gonna say if you get a chance at a spear, and it looks like you're already on that. So, ooh. Oops. All good. Probably walling at the time. As part of your wall, you might want to make a house too, just because you're going to get housed in a sec maybe, but overall, the strategy's looking pretty good. When I'm against scouts, I don't like to sacrifice any men-at-arms. I like to kind of either take a clean vill, if possible. Yeah, that's going to be annoying. And the reason what I was going to say is that your opponent, it's much more difficult for your opponent to go forward if you have 3 men-at-arms kind of wandering around, right? And well, it looks like you got some good counterattack here. You got a spear there too, which is eliminating the berries. That's 4 scouts. Ooh, that's not a small number. I mean, you only got 5 vills there. Yeah, fair enough. Ooh, another one too. How's your opponent affording all this? Okay, oops. Couple more units go down there. I can understand that though. This is a lot of action. This is one of those games where you're both attacking each other. Games like this are complicated to begin with. I will say though, if you're trying to finish a wall like this and you're Saracens, market's only 75 wood. You're gonna build one anyway. You might as well, you know, you could even double market. I used to do that on occasion with when they made the markets cheaper. Okay, market's going up over here. And now it's gonna be, the opponent's just sticking with scouts though, so he wants to clean this up and get his berries back. Makes sense. Not much you can do about that. Too many scouts and they'll chase you down. Going for some more lumber over there. Yeah, okay. Oh, and by the way, when you were in this spot here and there were those scouts, you had about 30 seconds to maybe palisade wall them in, or just two houses. One house here, and one palisade tile maybe. Easier said than done, I know. So, now, the other thing you have to decide right now is, are you sticking with archers, or are you going to go to knights? And with Saracens, you can go either. Second archery range, okay. And blacksmith, I'm going to guess, yeah, okay. Your opponent's playing it very fast and loose here, by the way. So what I mean by that is, when he was banging on walls here, if you set your 3 archers, like right now, even maybe 30 seconds before now, if you had set this army forward, 4 archers, 4 spears, this is an open economy, right? I mean, you know, especially if you're getting the upgrades right the second you hit castle, which you can kind of do with Saracens usually. I mean, obviously you spend something on, spend some resource on something else, but yeah, go forward. If we look at your opponent, he's not even to castle age yet. If those were right here, man, there's lots of targets. So, not a major thing, but definitely a minor improvement. Okay. And now when you get there, it's going to be tough because he's going to be able to make knights pretty quick to probably deal with this army. No, still, he might struggle, I would suspect. But it won't be the same sort of struggle. Yeah, that's a lot of scouts too, so, and they get light cav, yeah. Oh, he didn't get the light cav upgrade, he just fought anyway. But yeah, now if there's 2 or 3 knights, it's, yeah, gonna be a cleanup there. And now this is where it comes down to is you kind of have an equal economy. You have archers behind walls, he's got knights, which if you go fight out in the open, you're probably gonna struggle with. You gotta make a decision right here, and yeah, the decision is, pikemen are a tough one to sell. Because, he is pretty open, but he can easily make 2 TCs or make a siege shop and kind of be okay. And just keep the pikemen at bay, because you just basically run to your TCs and run to your mangonel. So, anyways, tough decision. Here, if it was me, I'd be inclined to probably add a monastery. Go grab a few relics around. Steal a knight or 2, and then at least you counter their siege. And if you can counter their siege, and you can then make enough army here, then you can really do some damage. So this is still, even though you have the army for it, yeah, that's a lot of knights. So even though you got 2 pikemen, 3 pikemen, you're gonna need like 8 pikemen with this army, or it's gonna get cleaned up, I think. And that's where it's hard to tell, right? Because you don't know. Your opponent could have went 3 TCs and a lot less knights, which sometimes they'd be inclined to do, especially when they see your opponent, like yourself, is walled in. But you might get some kills here. Okay, that's good. Nice clean bill pick. And he just retreated, which, yeah, okay, uh-oh. You need, yeah, this is gonna hurt. I'm trying to look for like where you put your archers. I think it'd be up here, but I don't know if you can make it that far. If your opponent kind of micros 4 or 5 knights up, and without that, it's just gonna be a mop up, I think. Yeah. Okay. Commonly when you're, yeah, doing the right thing with this hit and run, kind of running and stopping and running and stopping, that's good. And still, they're going to go down, yeah. So anyways, what I was going to say is, when you're against mass knights, and even if you don't know, like let's say you don't know if he's gone 3 TCs or he's gone 2 stables, full knights, and let's say you did archers to start. If you just added a monastery, you now have monks behind your buildings, so you can pretty much do what you need. Okay, you're building one now. And then the other part is you don't get the pikeman upgrade. If you get a second and third town center, even maybe just a second town center to start, then it doesn't really matter what your opponent does because you can live behind your walls. I mean, obviously you got a wall behind this, but not too easier said than done when it's 12 knights or whatever this is. So, oh, castle! Okay. You're going for the Mamelukes. All right. I mean, at this point, it's you're already in a kind of tough spot. Okay, you got to build it from the other side. This is gonna hurt, or wall them in. Yeah. Yeah, that's a painful one there. But yeah, anyways, what I was gonna say is, okay, so the game ended there. Yeah. So I think you were in a good spot if you attacked earlier in Castle Age, and you might have done some damage. And then what I would have done is after that first wave of army, you would have went around the outside or around this side, and maybe got a few kills. I would just build archers behind it, 7 on gold, and the rest of them build a TC, and start booming. Start building extra villagers, and your opponent can't really do much damage unless he gets siege. And if he does come with like a forward siege shop, you build one stable and start making camels or knights, and even a monastery to grab a knight or two if you can convert 1 or 2. And you'll probably be ahead in economy quite a bit. And obviously that's a tough thing, depending on how comfortable you are booming under pressure and walling behind and stuff like that. But I think he would have been in a decent spot here. And also, like when you took his villager out with the one that was building this stable, I think after it kind of got to half HP and it was within range of the TC, I think if you just retreated either direction, kept those 3 men-at-arms and that scout together, and even if you didn't kill another villager, it's going to be constant pressure all over his economy. It's this wood pile that varies. And maybe he does still get in here, but I would say that if you don't see him coming to fight your army, wall a little quicker or make another spear or 2. And if he does get in, just, if where possible, drop some house walls, some palisades. Easier said than done, I know that. So, but thanks for sending me this game, RockNRolla. Good try here, and hopefully that gives you some tips and tricks. And yeah, till next time, take care.